Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata.
Hey guys, I am coming to you to talk today about shifts, or the shift, the most important shift we're ever going to experience in our lives. And I recently was asked by Masha, this beautiful, wonderful beacon of light on Her Future. And if you're a woman watching this video and you are not signed up and a member of herfuture.com, you should sign up. They will hook you up. The founder, Gabrielle Bernstein, has created a wonderful network of women that are there to support you and really encourage you on the spiritual journey. So if you haven't signed up, sign up. So shift, she asked me about miracle. You know, Masha asked me, what's a miracle to you? And then it just said, I don't think I've ever really talked about this, but a miracle to me is really this shift that occurs in our mind as we choose to perceive things differently, as we choose to perceive it better, and specifically as we choose to shift ourselves from thinking fearful thoughts or ego thoughts, whatever you want to call it, negative thoughts, to loving thoughts, more positive thoughts. Again, whatever word you want to use for that. You can obviously see they seem to be different. And of course, A Course in Miracles teaches that, what's really happening is the truth or the love that we all really were born into is already a part of us, except that as we've gone on in life, we've developed these blocks from it. So there's things blocking our truth, our love. And what the work is really about is removing these blocks so we begin to let the light shine through. That's really what a shift is about. The thing that I want to really specify about a shift is a shift, when you start doing this work, is something you're going to feel internally. So for anybody that started this work, or if you're just starting this work, what you really want to do is bring more awareness and really be a witness to the miracle. I think this is important because when you witness it and you're able to recognize it, then you're able to recognize it more. If that makes any sense. So when you're able to say, okay, that was a miracle, then the next time something happens, you'll say, oh, well, that was two. And what it really does is builds your spiritual confidence, if you want to call it that, for being able to be a witness to the miracles in your life. So they are happening all the time already. This is what happens to most of us. Most of us are experiencing shifts all the time already of some form, even if you're not recognizing it. But because you're not able to recognize it right now, so you're kind of missing out, in other words. So you are at times getting glimpses of this beautiful, miraculous life, full of flavor, full of spice that all of us could be having. So all of you could have a wonderful smile like me. But you're not having it because there are these blocks that are stopping you from being able to perceive them that way. So what a shift is this, how I experience it is usually this lifting of something that happens within me. So whenever you have a negative feeling, no matter what the negative feeling is, try to be very aware of how you're feeling in your body. Your body could be a huge teacher and a huge guide. So if you can feel it like in your stomach, when I'm anxious, I can feel like butterflies, not the good butterflies, the butterflies, or sometimes I feel it up here in my chest. I start getting like clogged up here. It's just not, like I'm getting some kind of heartburn, but it's not. Or sometimes I feel it in my neck. So it depends on where you feel it. But once I start feeling that feeling, I know, something's not flowing. Okay, so there should be a natural flow. My body should just feel like amazing all 24/7. Yes, I know things happen, but I'm just saying, naturally, your body's really going to usually feels okay. When things start not working well with your feelings, we all can usually feel it in our bodies. Some of our bodies are more sensitive than others. So some of us might puke even because we're that nervous, or I don't know, whatever it is. Kids have different kinds of issues with this kind of thing. When they get scared, they have accidents, so it just depends on your body. But if you're able to become aware of this feeling, then you can say, okay, wait, something's not good here. So when you experience the shift, when you do the things that you need to do to experience the shift, you'll be able to say, oh, okay, was that feeling there? It's not there anymore, so I must have shifted. Sometimes I'm not able to identify right on the money when I shifted. So I wouldn't be able to tell you, 5:15 I shifted. It's not like that. But sometimes the day goes on and I realize, oh, I must have shifted because I don't feel that way anymore. Laughter is a great clue to if you shifted. I've picked up on that in my own life. If something's really bothering me and all of a sudden I catch myself laughing, whether it's about that particular situation, because I have found humor in my ego problems or in my shit that comes up for me, sometimes I end up laughing about it like, oh my God, that was so funny. Ha ha, universe has a great sense of humor. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes something else comes up and makes me laugh. And as soon as I feel myself laugh, I think, oh, I must be feeling better now. I must at least be starting to feel better, or else I wouldn't be laughing. And it's not, I'm not talking about a fake, like I just did, ha ha ha. I'm talking about a genuine, a laugh, when you feel it at the pit of your stomach, like a good hearty laugh. That's what I'm talking about. When you hear yourself laugh, you can start to feel somewhat a feeling of okay, I think it's kind of starting to turn around. And like I said, feelings are huge. I've talked about this before. So the shift really comes when you are able to witness the feelings of what's going on behind it. So what I'm trying to say with this, I think I'm kind of complicating it, is the shift is a miracle from the fear into the love. Just how you view a situation differently. What helps us identify or recognize how we're viewing the situation is our feelings. A good place to check how you're feeling is by using your body as a guide, if that makes any sense. Internally seeing, where am I holding this funkiness? Where am I holding my anger? Where am I holding my anxiousness? Where am I holding my guilt? Where am I holding my shamefulness? Where am I holding nervousness? Whatever it is for you, my jealousy. Be able to point out where you're feeling it, and that will be able to guide you to, oh, I guess I'm starting to not feel that way because that's no longer coming up in my body. The other tip, besides the body, is the laughter part. If you feel yourself, or you hear yourself start to laugh about something, have you ever noticed sometimes we find something funny and we kind of hold it back? I know I do this sometimes, and I'm like, I'm still angry, but I'm starting to laugh about things. So there's some movement going on in there internally because you're beginning to laugh about something. Like I said, whether it's that situation or something's making you laugh, there's still some kind of a shift. So I think those are two ways, great ways. And again, remember that the more you practice this, the more you practice just becoming aware of it. So don't get yourself mad just to practice a shift. Okay, these are natural. Course in Miracles teaches miracles are natural expressions of love. They happen naturally. And when they don't, something's gone off. So the practice comes, trust me, everybody gets tons of practice with miracles. You see them all the time because you're constantly shifting from being cranky into feeling good all the time. You just don't, like I said, you just don't identify it that way and you don't know it. But now you know. So when you're feeling not good and you're shifting into happy, or you're feeling like life is not working out and all of a sudden it starts working out, it's not a coincidence. Don't think it's too good to be true. Think, man, freaking miracles are showing up in my life, so let me keep doing whatever it is that's bringing those miracles in. And witnessing really heightens the miracles because then you become aware of it and then you realize, oh, well, when I did this, the miracle came. So let me try that again. It's not always going to work, but it's a place to start, especially if you're just starting off this work or even if you're well into it. Notice these tips. These are very real experiences that happen to me in my life all the time. And now I'm starting to actually word it as, oh, I'm shifting. That's why or I must have shifted. That's how I say if it's past tense and I noticed it later. Or I say it at the time. I said, oh, I must be shifting. The third thing I'm going to give you that I just actually thought about, my voice of love must be really heightened right now, is pray and ask for the shift. That is huge. And maybe I should have made that number one. But pray and ask for the shift. And if it's something really major, involve somebody else that you feel comfortable with the shift, with the praying. So like Gabrielle Bernstein has been talking about spiritual running buddies. Those are huge. When I recently had something come up for me, I was actually driving in Toronto and I had to literally pull over. I pulled over and I told my running buddy that was with me, Becky, I need to pray. I said, is that okay? She said, sure, no problem. I said, okay. And I prayed and I literally said, okay, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I need to experience a shift. I'm driving in a bunch of traffic. I'm in Toronto. It's a different area I'm not familiar with. I don't need to be feeling anxious and cranky right now. It's not going to go very well. And I was starting to try to take it out on her, if that makes sense. My ego was like, my energy was like, I need to go somewhere. Let me transfer it over to her. So I said, I need to stop and pray. So asking for it is also a huge tip to also experiencing the shift. If you don't ask for it, it cannot come in. So you really have to ask for it and open yourselves to receive it. So first one is pick it up in your body so you can begin to witness it more. And then that way you'll be able to recognize it when it does happen and you'll be able to identify it. Second of all, laughter is a huge key to you already beginning to shift or you've already shifted. So if you notice you were not feeling good and you start to laughing, yes, praise Jesus, Buddha, whatever you want to say, the miracle has happened. The third one is ask for the miracle. Ask for the shift. And if you feel like it's a big thing, ask for help. Ask for someone else to even pray with you or you say the prayer with somebody there, whatever that may be, because it will heighten the energy that you're putting out of the asking and maybe potentially, hopefully it will come sooner. But if it doesn't, it's all good. Know that a shift will always come. If you're willing to recognize it, to ask for it, to feel the movement, to receive it, it will come. It always comes. It's just we need to practice and we need to work on being able to recognize it. And like I said, we're blocked up. We do not see it because we have blocks stopping the truth from coming into us, but they're there. So they're happening to you already. And if you're watching this video, this is only going to make it more evident. You're going to see them everywhere now, almost. I can almost guarantee you're going to be like, oh, I guess this was the shift you're talking about. That was a shift. That's a miracle. And you're going to realize that every second of your life, you're experiencing a miracle. You're witnessing it. You're manifesting. You're designing it. Whatever word you want to use, you just have not become aware that the shift is occurring. So I hope this helps you get lots of more shifts in your life, lots of miracles, lots of milagros. It's a beautiful word in Spanish for miracles. Milagros. You want tons and tons of milagros. They're happening all the time. You're just not witnessing it right now because you're blocked up. So don't block yourself up. Use my tools. Use your feelings. Laugh a lot. It's a good thing to laugh. And ask for help. Involve your spiritual running buddies, like Gabby calls them. They're really going to help you out. So I hope this helps you have more shifts in your life and witness more milagros. Take care. I love you.